Hey everyone, Soundwave84 here, another blast from the past review. In this review, take a look at 2009 Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Class Dirge. This figure here is from the movie line. You know, he did not appear in the movie. I really like these kind of figures when they do characters and they make them look so unique, so off the wall. I really like this. He's like half alien, half humanoid, half robot. I really do dig the look. The head, he's got a Pope hat on or something. He just looks really cool in the face. Let's have a light piping back here. You can see when I put my finger there. You just got to get the light right behind his head to get through the eyes. The light piping is just a small little bar right there. But he's a pretty cool figure. I really do like it. Like Deluxe Class, I'm gonna tell you, those missiles are very sensitive. You barely touch it, and they will fire, and they do fire. Oh, helps if the figure's on the way, but they fire hard. So. Boom. You will lose those. I'm going to do the rest of my video review without them because I will shoot those things off millions of times. I've already shot them off so many times just trying to get this figure prepped for this review. They are just very sensitive to touch. That's one thing about figures back in the day. They had gimmicks. We had fire and missiles. We had electronics, lights, sounds. We had lots of cool stuff in our Transformers. Now we don't get any of that, but we're still paying the price for these guys, and even more so than figures back then that had all that kind of stuff added. So that's one of the downgrades, I guess, of Transformers now. Now, firing spring-loaded missiles. I don't mind not having those because I've lost so much accessories to some of these Transformers because of that, and I'd rather not. I'd rather not have the risk of losing something beyond my control. If I just pick it up and accidentally brush against that firing mechanism so lightly and then just pew, gone. I don't want that. Now electronics, we run the risk of batteries, battery acid leaking, but I still really do like lights and sounds and when they transform, or not when they transform, of course when they transform, but when they talk, that's what I'm trying to say. So nowadays we don't really get any of that unique kind of gimmicks with Transformers. Now his missile launchers can be stored down here on his wings, sort of like G1. But they can go up here in these little peg holes on his arms. But they do get in the way because they just have a lot of kibble. A lot of Transformers back in the day, back then, had a lot of kibble. Nowadays they streamline them a little bit more, or most of this goes onto their backs. He does have a slight backpack. That's just the back end of the jet. It comes off, but he does tab in up here at the back of his head. And it tabs in really good. These tabs on these Transformers back then were tabs. Now they're just little pieces of plastic that jut out and just sort of slide into a groove, but they don't really catch. They don't lock. These on this guy are really good. Now even the ones on his wings, when you get them in jet mode, those tab in so well. I wasn't even sure, because it's been a while since I transferred this guy out of jet mode. I wasn't even sure that was even supposed to come apart or not. I don't have the instructions for this guy. Well, I do, but I didn't feel like taking 2 hours of my day to go dig them out from some box. And this, what I'm trying to say, tabs, freaking awesome, this guy. Articulation, he's a Deluxe Class. Lots of articulation on his feet. He's got, even has like ankle bends down here. He's got ankle swivels, and you got the rocks and tilts for that, and you can rock it back and forth. Lots of movement, and that's because of transformation. You got your knees up here, so you're going to get a lot, not a lot, you can get some movement out of that. He's got a lot of kibble that eventually hits stuff. And the wings are on hinges, so you can move them and pose them differently. You don't have to keep them like a G1 wing. You can remove these, put the wings to the sides, or move them around however you wish. Just have an upper thigh swivel right below the black little ball joint thing here, which hooks on, so you got good kick forward on that ball joint. You can pretty much kick it like, wee, kiss my foot, baby. And going back at the ball joint, he's got the back of the jet back here, so we're gonna have to go around it, but you can get around that as well. He's got no waist swivel, because once you lock this in, you've prevented the waist. 360 on the shoulders here, and you got the movement here at the arms. His wings in the way. You got upper bicep swivel, elbow bends are down here. Excellent bendage going on, and that's also for transformation. You're really going to be folding those arms up into his body up here to get him in jet mode. This one, you got the cockpit of the jet on, so you got a lot of hindrance here, so you're not going to get as much movement. You don't really have an elbow. The elbow is right there, so you get weird movement, but it's like he's eating. I like my energon. Head, very tight. You can get to here on each side, so you can first look at his arms and his shoulders there. So as you're moving, there's no up, no up, there's no up, no up. There's no up and no down there. So you get a decent amount of articulation for this guy, especially being Deluxe class Transformer. And you do have a, what's called Mecha Live or some kind of gimmick. His nipples turn. You get him excited when you move his shoulders. Look at his nipples. Ooh. Ooh. All the nipple twisting going on here. So, he likes the nipple twisting. He is getting excited. And he's making me a little excited too. Watch this second. You like it. Yeah. So that's the robot mode here. We'll do some quick comparisons in robot mode. Deluxe class Strafe from the Combiner Wars. Legacy Point Blank, a lot bigger. Generations Thunderwing. Really need an update of this guy. This guy into his jet mode. I'm not going to do a step-by-step transformation. I'm just going to fast forward through me transforming this guy. Alright, so there is Dirge in his jet mode. It's sort of like a Harrier jet. Very nice jet mode. I really love the jet mode as well. The robot mode is very unique. Very different. I love that. I love the look of that. Jet mode is just freaking awesome and so sweet. And it's a little work getting into, but it's not that difficult once you've got it. Once you've done it a few times, you've got the sucker nailed down. There's a lot of twisting and turning going on. You got some Decepticon insignias on either side of the cockpit right here, and another one back here, and it is done in the movie style with the sort of diamond-esque eyes. Now some paint problems here. You got a little bit of chippage going on here. We have a little bit of silver paint smudging off right there. Now this could be from me. This figure is 13 years old. There's no telling what I've done with this guy. Yeah, this right here, it looks like a fingerprint. And you know, this guy had been fresh paint with a fresh finger, fresh finger. I doubt I would have just rubbed that off, but I could have. Otherwise, it's very nicely done. A few little paint mishaps, like the gold didn't go far enough up on here, but I really do like the gold paint on this guy, and the silver trim around it is painted silver here. This whole piece here is translucent plastic. Now, I do have a fear of repeated transformations breaking this off, especially when you have to shove it in here. It doesn't, the way it sounds when it snaps in, sounds like you're just cracking it, but it's not. It is still there, and it's doing good. Otherwise, overall look at the jet, I just really do like it. Like I said, the missiles will shoot off easily if you just rub against the firing mechanism. You do have some wheels down here. They do not spin. They are one solid piece of plastic, but at least he has some to keep his undercarriage off the ground, so you're not just resting the jet on the ground. Comparisons, here he is next to Combiner Wars Slingshot. So we'll just show this off here. Both Deluxe class, different lines. This movie line, Combiner Wars. As you can see here, the Combiner Wars is shorter in jet mode, whereas Dirge is longer in jet mode. But in robot mode, you tell that Strafe was taller, which probably means Slingshot would be a little bit taller if I had him in robot mode. And with another movie line jet, this is the Last Night's Megatron. Another Transformer. I really love this figure as well. We'll talk about that one a different day. Alright, so final thoughts here on 2009 Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe class Dirge. I love the jet mode. Robot mode, I love it for the uniqueness and the how it is just so different. I like that. I would recommend picking this guy up if you can find one at a fairly good price. It is an older figure, and people might be trying to get as much money out of this as they can. You never know. I haven't looked this guy up on eBay. I have no idea what he's going for. But I would recommend it if you wanted this guy. He is one of the more interesting and I'd say pretty good Transformer movie line toys. Tabs in this guy, very good. Any kind of negatives, it's just going to be the kibble. He's got a lot of kibble, and a lot of Transformers from back then, they had more kibble. And you can see more of that in the robot mode. Now they're a little more sleeker and more done that way, with less steps. This is a little more involved in the transformation. Well, thanks for watching. Until next one. Peace out.